Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Today is the second class of Valmiki Ramayanam's Sundarakandam. Last class, we did a brief introduction about various scriptures that form the key components of Sanatana Dharma. Among those, we saw what is Smriti, what is Shruti, and how the classification happens further. Something which is very close to all our hearts, or something that is well known to even a layman in the Bharata Desham, would be the Itihasas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana, composed by Maharishi Valmiki, being the Pramana Grantham, it is said to be the Adi Kavyam, composed by Adi Kavihi Valmiki. Of course, we have Mahabharata, which is very close to all of us. We have grown up listening to a lot of stories from Mahabharata. It seems more practical when we read the story and the messages that are conveyed in Mahabharata as it relates to a common man, the emotions that he experiences, how one deals with negative emotions, and how we need to overcome those and be a better person and lead a better life. We did a brief introduction to Ramayanam that talks about Rama's journey when Mahavishnu took the avatara as Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, composed by sage Valmiki, consisting of 7 cantos. We did an overview of each of the cantos and why it has been given that specific name. Ramayana has 24,000 shlokas, which have been divided into 500 sargas. Sargas we can loosely translate to chapters in our mind. Sundarakandam, which is the task that we have undertaken, learning Sundarakandam, to chant Sundarakandam, of course, understand the meaning, and of course, the takeaway has to be some of the key messages that has been subtly conveyed by Valmiki Maharishi through Hanuman, so that we just don't chant, we just don't understand the meaning. Time and again, we try to relate what we have learned from Sundarakandam when we encounter challenges, difficult situations, situations which we feel have no solutions in life. Aptly, it has been named Sundarakandam. The hero of this Kandam indeed is our Hanuman. His primary goal is Ramakaryam, where he wants to show his bhakti, show the love, the respect he has for Ramachandra Prabhu. He is the messenger between the separated couple in this Kandam. We also saw how the Vedantic principle, the Vedantic message is conveyed in Sundarakandam as well, where Rama, the Paramatma, is there in Bharata Desham, Sita is held captive in the beautiful city of Lanka. Though the city is beautiful, she is under the clutches of Ravana, Dasha Mukha Ravana. Ravana, the 10-headed Ravana. Sita represents the Jivatma, which longs to realize Paramatma, reach Paramatma. And Hanuman is that guru who serves as a bridge between Paramatma and Jivatma. The 10 Indriyas, Panchanyanendriyas, and the Pancha Karmendriyas are always hindrances to our union with Bhagavan, our union or the step towards self-realization. And it is the guru, a true guru, who guides us, who provides the path, who shows us the light where the Jivatma can reach Paramatma. The Jivatma can realize, depending on the type of philosophy that we look at, the Jivatma realizing the Paramatma, the Chidananda Swarupam within. We also saw how just within a day and night, Hanuman accomplished so many tasks. Just one task would seem impossible to any being on earth. And Hanuman, being a true bhakta of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, crossed the season. He arrived at Lanka. He found Mother Sita. He conveyed Rama's message to Mother Sita. He defeated the Rakshasas who tried to capture him. And while he surrendered with a purpose, and he was taken to the court of Ravana. Just one second. Is my volume okay? Can somebody confirm that the volume is okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, so gets taken to the court of Ravana, sets fire to Lanka, and then he returns back to Bharatadesham. And Rama, who's waiting for Hanuman's return, listens to his words. Indeed, Sita, I saw Sita. Kande Sitayai. Sundarakandam comprises of 68 sargas or chapters and 2,885 shlokas, which we'll have to cover over the next few months and probably years. We started with the Dhyana Shloka last week. I've added one more Dhyana Shloka to the list. We did 5, I think, last week. I've just added one more. I will chant the shloka and request everybody to chant along. Just the one shloka, I will repeat it twice myself so that we can move on to the first set of shlokas from Sarga 1. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Buddhirbalam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogata Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumat Smaranat Bhavet. Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam. I will repeat each part twice. Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam. Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham. Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham. Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगम् जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठम् वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये. In this shloka, we have buddhi, the dha, second dha, which is a mahapranah, you will need to stress. Varishtham, the tha, ish and tha are mahapranah, where you need to stress. Vanara yutha mukhyam, the tha and the ik are mahapranah. We need to stress this as well. I'll just repeat it one more time. Manojavam marutatulyavegam जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्. We enter into Prathama Sargaha, Samudra Langhanam. Samudram, we all know Samudram means sea or the ocean. Langhanam means jumping or crossing over. Primarily, this Sarga talks about how Hanuman took off from the tip of Bharatadesham and he crossed the ocean and what all he encounters during that crossing over.
Ramramani.
Namaskara.
Namaskaram.
We start with first shloka. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Tato Ravananitayaha
Tato Ravananitayaha
Sitaya Shatrukarshanaha
Sitaya Shatrukarshanaha
Iyesha Padamanveshtum
Iyesha Padamanveshtum
Charana-charite pathi
Charana-charite pathi
Tato Ravananitayaha Sitaya Shatrukarshanaha
Tato Ravananitayaha Sitaya Shatrukarshanaha
Iyesha Padamanveshtum Charana-charite pathi
Iyesha Padamanveshtum Charana-charite pathi.
Very good. In this we have Iyesha. Do you want to say the Mahapranah, Jyotsna?
Sure, Auntie. So Mahapranaha, Iyesha, that's a Mahaprana. And then the second line, last word, Pathi. Thi is Mahaprana.
And then we have one Visarga pronunciation.
So Sitayash Shatrukarshanaha.
Sitayash Shatrukarshanaha. There is a ish that you add when you join the two padas together.
Yes.
Next one. Dushkaram nishpratidvandvam.
Dushkaram nishpratidvandvam.
Chikirshan karma vanaraha.
Chikirshan karma vanaraha.
Samudagrashiro grivo.
Samudagrashiro grivo.
Gavampatiriva babhau.
Gavampatiriva babhau.
Dushkaram nishpratidvandvam. Chikirshan karma vanaraha.
Dushkaram nishpratidvandvam. Chikirshan karma vanaraha.
Samudagrashiro grivo. Gavampatiriva babhau.
Samudagrashiro grivo. Gavampatiriva babhau.
Very good. Mahaprana.
So Mahaprana Dushkaram. Ish is Mahaprana. Again, Nishpratidvandvam. Ish is a Mahaprana. Chikirshan karma vanarha. So Chikirshan, Sha is a Mahaprana. And then Patiriva, second line, Patiriva babhau. Bha is a Mahaprana.
The last bha is a Mahaprana. There is no Visarga pronunciation in this. There is a Dvitva. Nishpratidvandvam. So ti id, again you say dvandvam. So there is a Dvitva. For those who are not familiar with the Sanskritam rules, we covered a lot of it during the Sankshepa Ramayanam learning. So Mahapranaha is a aksharam that requires stress. So ka, kha, ga, gha. So the kha and gha are called Mahapranaha. So you have to focus while you're chanting, because when you don't stress the right way, or if you stress at a place while you're not supposed to stress, the meaning in Sanskritam can completely change. So while we might be praying for something, it might actually mean something else. So we want to focus on the padas when we are chanting. Dvitva is when there is in Tamil we call it Meyyezhuthu. In Hindi, I think it is Hindi also it is called Vyanjana Aksharam. Sanskritam is also Vyanjana Aksharam. So when you have a Sanyukta Vyanjana Aksharam, the first one is repeated twice. So Nishpratidvandvam. Nishpratidvandvam. So it is not Nishpratidvandvam. You say the id twice there. So there are certain rules where the Dvitva happens. Dvi means two. Dvitva means you repeat it twice. You say the Vyanjana Aksharam twice. So there are certain rules which have been given for the Dvitva pronunciation. And while we are learning the Shloka, we will call that out as well. Similarly, Visarga pronunciation. So in Sanskritam, you have Visargaha. So the Vanaraha, that aha at the end is called Visarga. And when the Visarga is followed by a pada, depending on the beginning aksharam of the next pada, the rules for Visarga changes. So we will call that as well. You can note that down. Those who are familiar with Sanskritam, those who have attended live classes earlier, I think you will be familiar. But those who don't know Sanskritam rules, but you have taken the efforts to come to the class, you're going to be taking efforts to learn chanting, learn the meaning, just little more, maybe 5%, 10% additional effort to note this down so that you chant the right way. One more point is when we typically learn, I think when we did Bhagavad Gita, when we did Sankshepa Ramayanam, whenever there is the pada is split. For example, Samudagrashiro Grivaha. We split and we used to learn. Here we are not splitting. The reason is as we move along, the chanting will be at a pace where we will not be stopping that often. So unlike the other shlokas, because of the volume of Sundarakandam, we will be chanting at a place where the stopping is going to be a hindrance. So the general recommendation, even though while we split, so when I am splitting it there and Jyotsna is repeating, it should be Samudagra Shiro Grivaha. But if we split, there are two challenges we'll be facing, right? So for all the 3,000 shlokas, you'll have to note down the split, number one. Number two, it is going to slow down the chanting as well. So from what I have learned, what I have heard, in general for Sundarakandam, you don't split. So even though the individual verses recordings that will be posted in the YouTube, typically they will have the split, because if I'm stopping there, I'm supposed to give the sandhi stopping there. But for the ease of chanting, consistency of chanting, and the pace at which we will be chanting due to the number of shlokas, we will continue with the sandhi as given in the shloka itself. So we will not be doing the sandhi split during the chanting. While I give the meaning at places where it is important, I will call out the individual padas. So if you're used to learning it that way, the learning of Sundarakandam is going to be a little different, just simply because of the number of shlokas that we'll have to cover. Third one. अथ वैडूर्यवर्णेषु
अथ वैडूर्यवर्णेषु
शाद्वलेषु महाबलः
शाद्वलेषु महाबलः
धीरः सलिलकल्पेषु
धीरः सलिलकल्पेषु
विचचार यथा सुखम्
विचचार यथा सुखम्.
Very good. अथ वैडूर्यवर्णेषु शाद्वलेषु महाबलः
अथ वैडूर्यवर्णेषु शाद्वलेषु महाबलः
धीरः सलिलकल्पेषु विचचार यथा सुखम्
धीरः सलिलकल्पेषु विचचार यथा सुखम्.
Very good.
So first line, first word, atha, tha is mahapranah. And then vaidurya varneshu, shu is mahapranah. And then the next word, shadvaleshu, the last sha is a mahapranah. Then mahabalaha, visarga. Dhira salila kalpeshu, next line, dhi is a mahaprana. And then there's a visarga connect, dhira salila kalpeshu. And then again, shu, the last shu is a mahaprana. Yatha sukam, tha is a mahaprana, and kha is a
Mahaprana. Very good. So we'll do all the mahapranas first, and then we will do the visarga, and then we will do the dvitva. So
okay,
we'll go in that order, so that if people are noting down, I know some people use different colors to note down the mahapranaha, the visargaha. So we'll do all the mahapranas first, then we will do the visargaha, and then we will do the dvitva. So atha, and there is a dvitva here, which is shadvaleshu. Idva, shadvaleshu. The visargaha, dhiras salila kalpeshu. Dhiraha salila. So it becomes dhiras salila. Similar to Tamil language. If padattai parthan will become padattai parthan. So you add an additional ip there. So the rules are very similar in Sanskritam as well. Of course, there are differences. So in just for people who are familiar with where when two padas are joined together, there is an additional letter which is introduced there. It is similar. Dhiras salila kalpeshu. Dvijan vitrasayan dhima.
Dvijan vitrasayan dhiman.
Urasa padapan haran.
Urasa padapan haran.
Mrigamscha subahun nighnan.
Mrigamscha subahu nighnan.
Pravriddha iva kesari.
Pravriddha iva kesari.
Dvijan vitrasayan dhima. Urasa padapan haran.
Dvijan vitrasayan dhiman. Urasa padapan haran.
Mrigamscha subahun nighnan. Pravriddha iva kesari.
मृगांश्च सुबाहूनिघ्नन् प्रवृद्ध इव केसरी
Subahun nighnan.
सुबाहूनिघ्नन्
Bahun. There is a in and then ni there. Mrigamscha subahun nighnan.
मृगांश्च सुबाहूनिघ्नन्
Pravriddha iva kesari.
प्रवृद्ध इव केसरी.
We have not done the full line, right?
Yes.
Okay. Dvijan vitrasayan dhima purasa padapan haran.
द्विजान् वित्रासयन् धीमान् उरसा पादपान् हरन्
Mrigamscha subahun nighnan. Pravriddha iva kesari.
मृगांश्च सुबाहून्निघ्नन् प्रवृद्ध इव केसरी.
Very good.
So first Mahapranah. First line, second word, vitrasayan dhiman. So dha is a Mahapranah. And then second line, second word, subahun nighnan. Gha is a Mahapranah. Next word, pravriddha. Dha is a Mahapranah. I think that's all. And then no visarga here. And then dvidva, first word, if I'm not wrong, dvijan. And then subahun nighnan. I think that's it. And pravriddha, that is a dvidva.
You also have vitrasayan, itra. So vitrasayan dhiman. There is a patha beda here. Some of the texts have subahu, I think, is there. The text, at least we are following. Subahun nighnan. So note down the correction in your book if the text is a little different. Kesari. I think that's it. Neelalohitamanjishtha.
नीललोहितमाञ्जिष्ठ
पत्रवर्णैसितासितैः
पत्रवर्णैसितासितैः
स्वभावविहितैश्चित्रैः
स्वभावविहितैश्चित्रैः
धातुभिः समलङ्कृतम्
धातुभिः समलङ्कृतम्
नीललोहितमाञ्जिष्ठ पत्रवर्णैसितासितैः
नीललोहितमाञ्जिष्ठ पत्रवर्णैसितासितैः
स्वभावविहितैश्चित्रैः धातुभिः समलङ्कृतम्
स्वभावविहितैश्चित्रैः धातुभिः समलङ्कृतम्.
Very good.
So Mahapranah, first word, Neelalohita Manjishtha. Tha is a Mahapranah. And then Patra Varne Sita Sitai. Second line, first word, Swabhava. Bha is a Mahapranah. And then second word, Dhatu Bhi. There are two Mahapranas, Dha and Bhi. Both are Mahapranas, and that's all with Mahapranas. There are two visargas here. So Patra Varnai Sita Sitaihi. There will be another is sound. And then Swabhava Vihitais Chitraihi Dhatu Bhis Samalankritam. The same, another is sound. Dhatu Bhis Samalankritam. And Vidva is Neela Lohita Manjishtha. There's a Vidva, Jishtha. And then Patra Varni Sita Sitai Swabhava Vihitais Chitraihi Dhatu Bhis Samalankritam. Is that all?
That's it. Malankritam. That's it. Kamarupibhiravistam.
कामरूपिभिराविष्टम्
अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः
देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः
देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः
कामरूपि 1 second. So I think I have mentioned this before. Just 1 second, Josna. Mentioned this before. There is Partha Beda in Sundarakandam. So if your book has a different pada and the text which is being displayed here has a different pada, please note down the correction. So we have taken text, looked at multiple books and sort of gone with the majority. So it will be difficult for me when messages come in asking, is it Patra or Padma? Is it this word or that word? Whatever word is shown here in the PDF that we are displaying, that will be the text that we will go with. So if there is a difference in the pada in your book, then just please note it down. If it is given here, that is the word that we are going with. In fact, many Upanyasakas have also mentioned this during their Upanyasam, saying that there is a reason why this has happened. We didn't have the right way to pass on text, right? So it got passed on from yugas to yugas through generations. So why during that course, Partha Beda happens. Sometimes the meaning is, most of the times, 95% of the times, the meaning is the same. The person who is noting it down or creating the scripture by writing it down might just use a substitute word. So if you see a text which is displayed here, which is different from the textbook, please just note it down. If you ask, keep asking if it is this or that, my answer is going to be what is there, what is given in the PDF here. So kindly avoid that question. If my pronunciation is different from what is displayed in the text here, right? Sometimes I'm looking at a pada and human error happens. Then you can raise it up. If the text here is different from the text which is there in your book, just note down the pada which is different. That is my humble request so that it doesn't disturb the class. Because I'm looking at the chat primarily because I want to know if my voice is audible, if any pada is clear or anything, because master mute is on. I'm constantly monitoring chat both here on Zoom as well as YouTube to make sure that this class is going the right way. So unless it is something that it is different. So for example, it is abhikshnam and I pronounce it as abhiksham, right? Then that is a mistake. You can call that out. So if the pada is different between the PDF and the book, just note down the correction. You don't have to raise it up here in class. Okay, we'll go back to 6th. कामरूपिभिराविष्टम्
कामरूपिभिराविष्टम्
अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः
देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः
देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः
कामरूपिभिराविष्टम् अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
कामरूपिभिराविष्टम् अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः
यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः. So first Mahapranah, first word Kamarupi Bhiravishtam. So Bha is a Mahapranah, Bhiravishtam, Ishtam, that Ish is a Mahapranah. Second word Abhikshnam, Bha is a Mahapranah. Saparichhadaihi, Cha is a Mahapranah. Second line Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvaihi. Dha is a Mahapranaha. And next, that's it, yes. And then there is Dvidva. Yak Kamarupi Virabhishtam. So there's a Dvidva. And then Yaksha Saparichadaihi Dvidva there as well. Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvai. If I'm not wrong, is there a Dvidva there?
Gandharvaihi.
Gandharvai. And then Deva Kalpaischa Panagaihi.
There are certain places where the Dvitva is a little more pronounced than the other places. Satasya Girivaryasya
Satasya Girivaryasya
Tale Nagavarayute
Tale Nagavarayute
Tishtan Kapivarastattra
Tishtan Kapivarastatra.
Hride Naga Iva Babhau.
Auntie, is it Hride or Hrade?
Hra.
Okay.
Hrade.
Hrade Naga Iva Babhau.
Satasya Girivaryasya Tale Nagavarayute
Satasya Girivaryasya Tale Nagavarayute
Tishtan Kapivarastattra Hrade Naga Iva Babhau.
Tishtham Kapivarastatra Hrade Naga Iva Babhau.
Very good.
So, second line, first word, Tishtham. So, Ish and Tha, both are Mahapranas. And then last word, Iva Babhau. The second Bha is a Mahapranaha.
That's it.
And then there's no Visarga. And Tishtham. And I think Kapivarastattra is a Dvitva.
Kapivarastattra. Iva Babhau. Hrade Naga Iva Babhau. The last is a Bha Mahapranaha. Sasuryaya Mahendraya
Sasuryaya Mahendraya
Pavanaya Swayambhuve
Pavanaya Swayambhuve
Correct. Bhutebhyaschaanjalim Kritva
Bhutebhyaschaanjalim Kritva
Chakaragamane Matim
Chakaragamane Matim
Chakara
Chakaragamane Matim
Sasuryaya Mahendraya Pavanaya Swayambhuve
Sasuryaya Mahendraya Pavanaya Swayambhuve
Bhutebhyaschaanjalim Kritva Chakaragamane Matim
Bhutebhyaschaanjalim Kritva Chakaragamane Matim.
Very good.
So, first line, last word, Swayambhuve, Bha is a Mahaprana. And then second line, first word, Bhute, Bha, Bhya, again two Bhas, Chanjalim, Kritva, Chakaragamane. That's all with Mahapranas. And then Pavanaya Swayambhuve. That comes as Dvitva or Visarga, auntie? Dvitva.
Dvitva. Pavanaya Swayambhuve.
Swayam.
If you stop there, it is okay. Pavanaya Swayambhuve. But if you say it together, Pavanaya Swayambhuve.
And then Bhutebhya.
Bhutebhya Anjalim Kritva. The rest are kind of like intuitive when we chant. Very good, Kanna. Next one. Anjalim Prangmukah Kritva.
Anjalim Pranmukhah Kritva.
Pavanayatmayonaye
Pavanayatmayonaye
Tato hi vavridhe gantum
Tato hi vavridhe gantum
Dakshino dakshinam disham
दक्षिणो दक्षिणां दिशम्
अंजलिं प्राङ्मुखः कृत्वा पवनायात्मयोनये
अंजलिं प्रान्मुखः कृत्वा पवनायात्मयोनये
ततो हि ववृधे गन्तुं दक्षिणो दक्षिणां दिशम्
ततो हि ववृधे गन्तुं दक्षिणो दक्षिणां दिशम्. So anjalim pranmukha ha samaha prana, and then second line vavridhe dha samaha prana, and that's all. And then there's a visarga pranmukha kritva, so there's a ik sound. That's
sound.
a ih sound. So pranmukha kritva, and then dvitva kritva, and then pavanayatmayonaye vavridhe kandam dakshino ik sound. Dakshino
Dakshino,
dakshinam.
correct. The ik comes there. Dakshino dakshinam disham. Very good. Next one. Plavanga pravarair-drishtah.
Plavanga pravarair-drishtah.
Kritva there. Plavanga pravarair-drishtah.
Plavanga pravarair-drishtah.
प्लवने कृतनिश्चयः
प्लवने कृतनिश्चयः
ववृधे रामवृद्ध्यर्थम्
ववृधे रामवृद्ध्यर्थम्
समुद्र इव पर्वसु
समुद्र इव पर्वसु
प्लवङ्गप्रवरैर्दृष्टः प्लवने कृतनिश्चयः
प्लवङ्गप्रवरैर्दृष्टः प्लवने कृतनिश्चयः
ववृधे रामवृद्ध्यर्थम् समुद्र इव पर्वसु
ववृद्धे रामवृद्ध्यर्थम् समुद्र इव पर्वसु.
ववृद्धे doesn't have the महाप्राणः. ववृधे
ववृधे रामवृद्ध्यर्थम् समुद्र इव पर्वसु.
It doesn't have the dvitva there. I hope I said dvitva earlier. Vavridhe Rama Vridhyartham. Let's go with the Mahapranaha.
Mahapranaha. So ish pravarai drishtah ish sound. And then second line vavridhe dha sa mahapranaha. Rama vridhyartham dha mahaprana and tha mahapranaha. That's it. And then dvitva, if I'm not wrong, plavanga pravarai drishtah.
Pravarai, correct.
Krita nishchayah Rama vridhyartham. There's
Vridhyartham samudra. Idditra samudra. Iva parvatu. Very good. Nishpramana sharirasan.
Nishpramana sharirasan.
One more time.
Nishpramana sharirasan.
There is no ish there, right? Nishpramana sharirasan.
Nishpramana sharirasan.
Correct. There is no ish here, but there is here. Sharirasan. Lilangha ishurarnavam.
Lilangha ishurarnavam.
Bahubhyam pidayamasa.
Bahubhyam pidayamasa.
Charanabhyam cha parvatam.
Charanabhyam cha parvatam.
Nishpramana sharirasan. Full I'll start over. Nishpramana sharirasan. Lilangha ishurarnavam.
Nishpramana sharirasan. Lilangha ishurarnavam.
Bahubhyam pidayamasa. चरणाभ्यां च पर्वतम्
बाहुभ्यां पीडयामास चरणाभ्यां च पर्वतम्. So nishpramana, nish ish is a mahaprana, san lilang gha is a mahaprana, and then bahubhyam bha is a mahaprana, charanabhyam again bha is a mahaprana. Okay? And then there's a visarga, nishpramana sharirasan. There will be an extra is, and then dvitva is nishpramana, and then
it has ish halanta, right? So that will not be dvitva. Bahubhyam, ibhyam, we say that twice. So all those are kind of intuitive. We can skip that. Cha parvatam, that's it. Next one, 12th one. Sachachalachalashchapi
सचचालाचलश्चापि
मुहूर्तं कपि पीडितः
मुहूर्तं कपि पीडितः
तरूणां
पुष्पिताग्राणां
सर्वं पुष्पमशातयत् सचचालाचलश्चापि मुहूर्तं कपि पीडितः
सचचालाचलश्चापि मुहूर्तं कपि पीडितः
तरूणां पुष्पिताग्राणां सर्वं पुष्पमशातयत्
तरूणां पुष्पिताग्राणां सर्वं पुष्पमशातयत्.
Very good.
So second line pushpita ish is a mahaprana. Again pushpamashate, the pushpa ish is a mahaprana. And then dvitva pushpita granam.
So that is something we have to note down. Pushpita granam. This one we have to stress while we say it. Pushpita granam. Sarvam pushpam ashatayat. Okay. Tena padapamuktena.
Tena padapamuktena.
Pushpaugena sugandhina.
पुष्पौघेन सुगन्धिना
सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो
सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो.
So there is a is here and a ish here. So it's slightly twisting. Sarvatah samvritah shailo.
सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो.
Babhau pushpamayo yatha.
बभौ पुष्पमयो यथा.
Tena padapamuktena pushpaugena sugandhina.
तेन पादपमुक्तेन पुष्पौघेन सुगन्धिना.
सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो बभौ पुष्पमयो यथा.
सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो बभौ पुष्पमयो यथा.
Very good.
So first line pushpau ish is a mahaprana, and then pushpau ghena gha is a mahaprana. Sugandhina dha is a mahaprana. Sarvata samvrita shailo babhau bha is a mahaprana. Again pushpa ish is a mahaprana. Yatha tha is a mahaprana. There is a visarga here. Sarvata samvrita shailo. So first is a is, samvrita shailo. So that's a ish sound.
Is and a ish, correct. Ish. Very good.
And then dvitva is
nothing to specifically call out. I think as we chant, the pada will just flow. Tena chottama viryena.
Tena chottama viryena.
Pidyamanassa parvatah.
पीड्यमानः स पर्वतः
सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव.
सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव.
Correct. Samprasusrava. There is a dvitva here. So, salilam samprasusrava.
सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव.
Madam matta iva. Madam matta iva dvipaha.
मदं मत्त इव द्विपः.
Tena chottama viryena पीड्यमानः स पर्वतः.
तेन चोत्तमवीर्येण पीड्यमानः स पर्वतः.
सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव मदं मत्त इव द्विपः.
सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव मदं मत्त इव द्विपः.
Very good.
So, second, there's no Mahaprana in this. And then there's a Visarga, Pidyamanas Parvatah. So there's a is sound, Pidyamanas Parvatah. Then Dvitva, Samprasusrava. So there's a Dvitva there, and Ibadvipaha. Dvipaha. There's a
Dvipaha. Id and then again idvi. So iva dvipaha. Very good. पीड्यमानस्तु बलिना.
पीड्यमानस्तु बलिना.
महेन्द्रस्तेन पर्वतः.
महेन्द्रस्तेन पर्वतः.
रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास.
रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास.
So रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास. रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास.
रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास.
काञ्चनाञ्जनराजतीः.
काञ्चनाञ्जनराजतीः.
Very good. पीड्यमानस्तु बलिना महेन्द्रस्तेन पर्वतः.
पीड्यमानस्तु बलिना महेन्द्रस्तेन पर्वतः.
रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास काञ्चनाञ्जनराजती.
रीतिर्निर्वर्तयामास काञ्चनाञ्जनराजती.
तीः.
काञ्चनाञ्जनराजतीः.
Very good. Just 1 second. Okay.
There's no Mahapranaha. And then no Visarga. Dvitva.
Mahendrastena. I think the rest are okay. Next one. Momocha chashilashailu.
Momocha shilashailo.
You can pause there for the two cha. Momocha chashilashailu.
Momocha shilashailo.
Vishala samanashilaha.
Vishala samanashilaha.
Madhyamenarchisha jushto.
Madhyamenarchisha jushto.
Dhoomarajirivanalaha.
Dhoomarajirivanalaha.
Momocha chashilashailu. Vishala samanashilaha.
Momocha shilashailo. Vishala samanashilaha.
Madhyamenarchisha jushto. Dhoomarajirivanalaha.
मध्यमेनार्चिषा जुष्टो धूमराजीरिवानलः.
Very good.
So madhya dha samaha prana, madhyamenarchisha sh samaha prana, again jushto sh samaha prana, dhumaraji dhu dha samaha prana there. And then there are two visargas here. First one, mumocha cha shila shailo, ish sound. And then vishala samanashila. So first one is a is sound. Second one is ish samanashilaha.
Correct. First is sa and then sha.
Sure.
Madhyamnachisha, Dhumarajiva. Good. Girina pidyamanena.
गिरिणा पीड्यमानेन
Pidyamanani sarvatah.
पीड्यमानानि सर्वतः
Guhavishtani bhutani.
गुहाभिष्टानि भूतानि
Bine durvikritaiस्वरैः.
दिने दुर्विकृतैस्वरैः
गिरिणा पीड्यमानेन पीड्यमानानि सर्वतः.
गिरिणा पीड्यमानेन पीड्यमानानि सर्वतः
गुहाविष्टानि भूतानि बिने दुर्विकृतैस्वरैः.
गुहाभिष्टानि भूतानि दिने दुर्विकृतैस्वरैः
विकृतैस्वरैः.
दिने दुर्विकृतैस्वरैः.
Correct.
So Mahapranah Guhavishtani Vishtani. So Ish is a Mahaprana. Bhutani Bha is a Mahaprana. And then there's a Visarga. Bine Durvikritaiस्वरैः. So there's a is sound there.
I think that's it. Vikritaiस्वरैः. समहासत्त्वसन्नादः.
समहासत्त्वसन्नादः
शैलपीडानिमित्तजः.
शैलपीडानिमित्तजः
पृथिवीं पूरयामास.
पृथिवीं पूरयामास
दिशश्चोपवनानि च.
दिशश्चोपवनानि च
समहासत्त्वसन्नादः शैलपीडानिमित्तजः.
समहासत्त्वसन्नादः शैलपीडानिमित्तजः
पृथिवीं पूरयामास. दिशश्चोपवनानि च.
पृथिवीं पूरयामास दिशश्चोपवनानि च.
Correct. Very good.
So Mahapranah is Prithvim. Tha is a Mahapranah there. And then no Visarga.
With no visarga joining. We have
Join.
yeah. Nimittajaha, which are just direct visarga pronunciation. Very good. Shirobhif prithubhif. Shirobhif prithubhis sarpa.
Shirobhih pritibhih sarpa.
The first one is a bif and then bhis, right? Shirobhif prithubhis sarpa.
Shirobhih pritibhih sarpa.
व्यक्तस्वस्तिकलक्षणैः.
व्यक्तस्वस्तिकलक्षणैः
वमन्तः पावकं घोरम्.
वमन्तः पावकं घोरम्
ददंशुर्दशनैः शिलाः.
ददंशुर्दशनैः शिलाः
शिरोभिः पृथुभिः सर्पा. व्यक्तस्वस्तिकलक्षणैः.
शिरोभिः पृथिभिः सर्पा व्यक्तस्वस्तिकलक्षणैः
वमन्तः पावकं घोरं ददंशुर्दशनैः शिलाः
वमन्तः पावकं घोरं ददंशुर्दशनैः शिलाः. So first word shirobhi bha bha samaha prana, prithubhi tha samaha prana, bha samaha prana again, and then bhavakam ghoram, second line gha samaha prana there, and then there are a lot of visargas here. Shirobhi prithubhi, so visarga plus pa is if f if sound, so shirobhi prithubhi, and then the second one is visarga plus sa, so it's an extra sa, prithubhi sarpa. Then the second line again visarga plus pa, so vamantaf pavakam, if sound, and then dadamshu dashanai shila, ish sound, visarga plus sh, so dashanai shilaha. And then vyakta is a dvitva, vyakta swasti samaha prana.
Vyakta swasti. So the is comes there twice. Very good. Last one for today. Tastada savishairdashtaha
तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः
कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः
कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः
जज्वलुः पावको दीप्ता
जज्वलुः पावको दीप्ता
बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा
बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा.
Very good. तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः
तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः
जज्वलुः पावको दीप्ता बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा
जज्वलुः पावको दीप्ता बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा. So first line, second word, savi shair, sha samaha prana again, savi shair dashta, ish samaha prana again, and then second line, bibhidushcha, bha, the second bha samaha prana, then last word, sahasradha, dha samaha prana, and then
पावको दीप्ता
there's a visarga, jajvaluf, visarga plus pa again, if, so jajvaluf pavako deepta.
There's a vitva here. Pavako
Deepta.
It's already a idda, so we are good there. Jajvaluf Pavako Deepta Vividuscha Sahasra. Sahasra. So Isra comes there. Sahasradha. Very good. Okay. Let's go back. Would you like to try, Jyotsna?
I'll try, Auntie. You can correct me if I'm wrong somewhere. ततो रावणनीतायाः सीताया शत्रुकर्षणः ईयेष पदमन्वेष्टुं चारणाचरिते पथि दुष्करं निष्प्रतिद्वन्द्वं चिकीर्षन् कर्म वानरः समुदग्रशिरो ग्रीवो गवां पतिरिवा बभौ अथ वैडूर्यवर्णेषु शाद्वलेषु महाबलः धीरः सलिलकल्पेषु विचचार यथा सुखम् द्विजान् वित्रासयन् धीमान् उरसा पादपान् हरन् मृगांश्च सुबाहुर्निघ्नन् प्रवृद्ध इव केसरी. नीललोहितमाञ्जिष्ठ पत्रवर्णैः सितासितैः स्वभावविहितैश्चित्रैः धातुभिः समलङ्कृतम् कामरूपिभिराविष्टम् अभीक्ष्णं सपरिच्छदैः यक्षकिन्नरगन्धर्वैः देवकल्पैश्च पन्नगैः सतस्य गिरिवर्यस्य तले नागवरायुते तिष्ठं कपिवरस्तत्र ह्रदे नाग इवा बभौ ससूर्याय महेन्द्राय पवनाय स्वयंभुवे भूतेभ्यश्चाञ्जलिं कृत्वा चकार गमने मतिम् अञ्जलिं प्रान्मुखः कृत्वा पवनायात्मयोनये ततो हि ववृधे गन्तुं दक्षिणो दक्षिणां दिशम्
Very good.
प्लवङ्गप्रवरैर्दृष्टः प्लवने कृतनिश्चयः ववृधे रामवृद्ध्यर्थं समुद्र इव पर्वसु निष्प्रमाणशरीरः सन् लिलङ्घयिषुरर्णवम् बाहुभ्यां पीडयामास चरणाभ्यां च पर्वतम् स च चालाचलश्चापि मुहूर्तं कपिपीडितः तरूणां पुष्पिताग्राणां सर्वं पुष्पमशातयत् तेन पादपमुक्तेन पुष्पौघेन सुगन्धिना सर्वतः संवृतः शैलो बभौ पुष्पमयो यथा तेन चोत्तमवीर्येण पीड्यमानः स पर्वतः सलिलं सम्प्रसुस्राव मदं मत्त इव द्विपः पीड्यमानस्तु बलिना महेन्द्रस्तेन पर्वतः रीतिर्निवर्तयामास काञ्चनाञ्जनराजतीः
Very good.
मुमोच च शिलाशैलो विशालाः समनशिलाः मध्यमेनार्चिषा जुष्टो धूमराजीरिवानलः गिरिणा पीड्यमानेन
One more time.
गिरिणा पीड्यमानानि सर्वतः गुहाभिष्टानि भूतानि विने दुर्विकृतैश्वरैः
Very good.
समहासत्त्वसन्नादः शैलपीडानिमित्तजः पृथिवीं पूरयामास दिशश्चोपवनानि च शिरोभिः प्रतिभिः सर्पा व्यक्तस्वस्तिकलक्षणैः वमन्तः पावकं घोरं ददंशुर्दशनैः शिलाः तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः जज्वलुः पावको दीप्ता बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा.
Very good. Let's do the 20th one more time.
तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः कुपितैस्तैर्महा
Kupitais.
Okay, once again.
Hmm.
तास्तदा सविशैर्दष्टाः कुपितैस्तैर्महाशिलाः जज्वलुः पावकोद्दीप्ता बिभिदुश्च सहस्रधा.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Thank you for repeating, Jyotsna.
Thank you, Auntie. Ram Ram Perivashanam.
Ram Ram. Very much. Any doubts in any of the padas, any pronunciation, you can message and I can clarify. You can just give the number. I can repeat the shloka. (11 and 12). Okay. Nishpramana Sharirasan Lilangha Ishurarnavam Bahubhyam Pidayamasa Charanabhyam Cha Parvatam. I think the pada is probably Lilangha Ishurarnavam. That is the 11th one. 10th one, Plavanga Pravarair Drishtaha Plavane Krita Nishchayaha Vavridhe Rama Vridhyartham Samudra Iva Parvasu. The individual shlokas will be recorded in learning mode. We will also have set of 10s. It will not be sent in WhatsApp or Telegram, but it will be posted in the YouTube channel. So there will be playlists that you can go to if you have clarification and pronunciation. Shirobhih prithubhih sarpa vyakta swastika lakshanaihi vamantah pavakam ghoram dadamshur dashanai shilaha. The PDF was shared yesterday. The entire Sarga one was shared. Again, there could be differences in the PDF itself, because as the PDF is created from the text that is available in the internet, and as we move along, we make corrections in the PDF that I have shared here. This PDF will be made available after we complete the Sarga. So I won't be able to post it every week. So after we complete the entire Sarga, I will make this PPT's PDF available in Google Drive. Today's PDF was shared yesterday. We shared it yesterday. Two books were recommended, one by Ramakrishna Math and another one by Sengalipuram Sri Anantarama Dikshidhar. One of the two should be good enough. Tastada Savishair Dashtaha Kupitair Mahashilaha Jajvaluf Pavakoddeepta Bibhi Duscha Sahasradha. Mumocha Cha Shila Shailo Vishala Samana Shilaha Madhye Menar Chisha Jushto Dhuma Raji Rivanalaha. Shloka 13. Tena Padapa Muktena Pushpau Ghena Sugandhina Sarvatas Samvrita Shailo Babhau Pushpamayo Yatha. Sa Suryaya Mahendraya Pavanaya Swayam Bhuve Bhutebhyaschaanjalim Kritva Chakara Gamani Matim. Sa tasya girivaryasya tale nagavarayute tishtan kapivaras tatra hrade naga iva babhau. I would like to start the meaning unless you have specific padas that you need clarification. I think I have whatever numbers have been posted, I think I have clarified. Okay. We will cover the meaning part here. So the meaning for Sundarakandam is going to be slightly different from the live class of Bhagavad Gita that we did. So Bhagavad Gita, every pada has a very deep meaning, and we covered pretty much just 10 shlokas in one class. And a lot of shlokas, I think when we looked at the words and the padas, we delved quite a bit into understanding, and we tried to introspect, we tried to understand how that particular shloka from Bhagavad Gita relates to our life and relates to our emotions, and how it, can help us change ourselves to be a better person. So unlike that, Sundarakandam is going to be a little different. It comes mostly from the story point of view, right? But there are certain portions in Sundarakandam that require a little more focus than the rest. So the ones that are just like a story where Valmiki Maharishi just describes the scene, what is happening, and then uh, continues to what happens next, kind of like a drama, right? We will just go through the overall meaning. The padas that require little bit of focus, I will focus on that. So this message is especially for people who have been used to our kind of learning, where we go through pada by pada, we try to understand each and every word and then try to interpret the meaning. Unlike that, while I will give the pada by pada meaning and the overall meaning, the recommendation would be to not delve or get stuck to one verse and try going into each of these, right? So make sure that you have that mindset when you're attending Sundarakandam. The ones that require focus, we will focus. The ones that just require an overall meaning, we will focus on the overall meaning. So that is my kind request. So so that we can cover the important parts in depth, and the ones that just require, like, I wouldn't say superficial, but overall understanding of what the shloka is, we will do at that level. Especially the ones that have traveled in the Learn Shlokas online group from 2018, you'll have to take a step back. And I know there are so many of the members who take word to word meaning. I have seen the notes, their notes and notebooks, where they have literally taken down word by word, and they go back and revisit and reread and re-understand. So especially for those studious members, you will have to take a step back and understand Sundarakandam, the shloka meaning, overall meaning. But the ones that require the pada or the shlokas that require a little more focus, we will focus on that. We will start with the Dhyana shloka that we did last week. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vighna Upashantaye. So in here, Dhyayet, maybe meditate on. Shloka is on Ganesha. Because the pada Vishnu is used here, there is a lot of interpretation that this shloka is also relevant to Mahavishnu. So, dhyayet, may we meditate on that Ganesha, who has Shukla Ambara Dharam. He wears white colored clothes. Vishnum, he is all pervading. Shashi Varnam, he is bright in his appearance. Shashi means moon. So just like a full moon will be bright and beautiful, he has the bright and beautiful white like Varnam, color and appearance. Chaturbhujam, he has 4 hands. Prasanna Vadanam, elephant is always very pleasing to look at. How much our time we spend in looking at elephant, we enjoy the beauty. And Ganesha is Gajanana. So, Prasanna Vadanam, he has the beautiful face. And what is our primary prayer to Ganesha? Sarva Vighna Upashantaye. May he remove, may he take away, may he make sure that the path that we follow does not have any hindrance or any obstacle. So we meditate on Ganesha, who wears white clothes, who is all pervading. Shashivarnam, he is bright in his appearance like the moon, the one with 4 arms, who is compassionate and has a very gracious, pleasing face. That Ganesha, may he remove all the obstacles and hindrances that come across our way. Next one is on Rama. Ramaya, Ramabhadraya, Ramachandraya, Vedhase, Raghunathaya, Nathaya, Sitaya, Pataye, Namaha. Ramaya, Namaha. Salutations to Lord Rama. Rama Bhadraya. Bhadram means auspicious. So he is the symbol of auspiciousness. Ramachandraya Vedhase. He carries the name Ramachandra. And Vedhase, the one who knows all, the all-knowing, the Sarvajna. Raghunathaya. He comes from the Raghu dynasty. So he is the king or the lord of Raghu dynasty. Nathaya. He is also the ruler or the protector of the entire universe. Sitayaha Pataye. He is the consort of Sita. I offer my salutations, my namaha, my prayers to that Rama. So Rama, offering you my salutations, Ramaya Namaha. And what kind of Rama? He is the auspicious one. He's known by the name Ramachandra. Also has moon-like face. He is the knower of everything under the universe, Sarvajna. He is the ruler or the lord of the Raghu dynasty, the ruler or the protector of the entire universe. And we all know him as Sita's consort. Next one is on Hanuman. This shloka is extremely powerful because it talks about 8 qualities of Hanuman. And by repeatedly chanting the shloka, we also get the blessing of getting those qualities, if not all, maybe some of those qualities. Buddhir balam yasho dhairyam nirbhayatvam arogata ajadyam vak patutvam cha hanumat smaranat bhavet. Buddhihi, knowledge, wisdom, intellect. Balam, strength, both mental and physical. Yasho, yashaha is fame. Dhairyam, courage, being brave. Nirbhayatvam, absence of fear. Arogata, I think the number one prayer for all of us is good health. Only when we have good health, we will be able to live a meaningful, purposeful life. So, arogata, free from diseases, having good health. Ajadyam, the one who doesn't tire at all. We just do a couple of tasks and then, oh my God, I feel so exhausted. I want to go and rest. That kind of kshinam, the tiredness that we feel. Ajadyam, the one who doesn't get tired at all, unlimited energy. Vakpatutvam, mastery over words. Hanuman has that eloquence, the speech. Whatever we convey in the right way, using right words and not using lengthy sentences. It is conveyed in a short way, in a crisp way. So he has that kind of speech eloquence. Hanumat smaranad bhave. By worshipping Hanuman, he would be blessed. That bhakta would be blessed with knowledge, strength, fame, courage, fearlessness, health, unlimited energy, the absence of being tired, and of course, good eloquence, the speech capability or mastery over words. That is the kind of power Hanuman possesses himself. And by chanting this shloka with utmost devotion to Hanuman, we will be blessed with these unique qualities, unique blessings that will make us lead a better life and be a better person. The next one is also on Hanuman. Manojavam Maruta Tulyavegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanara Yutha Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam. There is another version too, Shirasa Namami or Sharanam Prapadye. Both kind of mean the same. Manojavam, Manaha, he who is swift. Just give me a second. Manojavam Maruta Tulyavegam. Manojavam, he who is swift as our mind or our thought. Maruta Tulyavegam. Tulyam means equivalent. Vegam is speed. The one who is fast or powerful, like wind. Marutam. Jitendriyam, the one who has conquered his senses. Indriyani, the most difficult to conquer are our indriyas, but Hanuman has won over his senses, his indriyas. Buddhimatam varishtam, amongst the wise, he is probably the wisest. Varishtam, the best among the wise men. Vatatmajam, the son of wind god. Vanara Yutha Mukyam, he is the commander in the army of Sugriva, and he is the chief most, the primary most. Sri Rama Dutam, in this specific kandam, he takes the role of a messenger. He is the messenger between Rama and Sita. Sharanam Prapadye, I surrender to that Hanuman. I take refuge. I offer my complete surrender to him. Manojavam Maruta Tulyavegam, he who is swift like our thoughts or our mind, he who is more powerful than wind. He has conquered his indriyas, his senses. He is the best among the wise men. Vatatmajam, he is the son of the wind god. And the commander, Vanara Yutha Mukyam, the chief commander of the Vanaras. In here, he has a specific role, specific job to do. The messenger of Lord Rama. I take refuge at his feet. Sharanam Prapadye. I offer my complete surrender to him. The next one is a very beautiful shloka that talks about the bhakti of Hanuman. Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam tatra tatra kritamastakанjalim bashpavari paripurna lochanam marutim namata rakshasantakam. So after the avatara, Rama avatara was over, Rama offered Hanuman to accompany him to Vaikuntham. And Hanuman had one question for Rama. If I come to Vaikuntham, will I be able to hear Ramayana? Will I be able to listen to Ramanama chanting? And for which Rama responded, saying, probably not. So Hanuman said, I would rather live in Bhuloka, where there is Ramayana Parayanam going on somewhere. And wherever that Parayanam is going, wherever the Lord Rama's qualities are praised, where Ramayana is chanted, the Parayanam is done, that is all is absolute bliss for me. So he also stayed back, and so did Vibhishna. Of course, we also have Jambavan, who also lived through multiple yugas. He was there in Satya Yuga, in Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga. So these three, from the specific characters from Ramayana, they stayed back. So Hanuman is on the northern part, and Vibhishna, who stayed back as the ruler of Lanka, is on the southern part. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, wherever the glories of Raghunatha, Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, is sung, Tatra Tatra Krita Mastakanjalim. How would Hanuman sit there? He would sit there with complete humility, with folded hands, with bhakti, with complete surrender. There, Krita Mastakanjalim. He would completely fold his hands and put his head down, expressing his devotion, expressing the respect he has for Rama, the love he has for Rama, with bowed head down and his hands folded. And as he hears the glories of Raghunatha, Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, his eyes are filled with tears, tears of joy, tears of bhakti. Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. Maruti, Marutasya Putra, Marutasya Puman. So, the son of wind god, Rakshasantakam, he who put an end to Antakam, the end to Rakshasas. May we all salute that Hanuman, that Maruti. So wherever the glories of Raghunatha, Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, are sung, those places with hands folded, with his head which is bowed down, as if offering salutation to Rama, offering his respect and love and bhakti to Rama. When Hanuman hears the glory of Raghunatha, his eyes are filled with tears of joy and bhakti and happiness. May we all offer our salutations to that Maruti, Bhakta Hanuman, who also put an end to Rakshasas. Very, very beautiful shloka that describes how true bhakti is. When we hear about something that touches us, automatically we have tears flowing from our eyes. And Hanuman has such sincere devotion, bhakti towards Rama, that the moment he hears, automatically tears start flowing from his eyes. The last Dhyana shloka is for the Rachayita, or the composer of Ramayanam. Kojantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. So whenever we chant Rama, Rama, it is like cuckoo that is cooing. It is so sweet to hear. So Rama, Rama iti. Madhuram, Madhuraksharam. Rama, Rama. The most melodious sound one can hear. Valmiki Kokilam. Valmiki is like a cuckoo among the poets. While he is writing about Ramayana, that Madhura Aksharam is falling on our ears, and it is so melodious to hear. So when Valmiki sweetly sings that sound, how does he sing? Kavita Shakam. That is a beautiful comparison here. So Kavita Shakam, perched on the sweet branches of Ramayana itself, Aruhya. is getting over or perched. That Valmiki, who is like Kokila, may we offer our salutation. Aham Bande. I offer my salutation to that Valmiki. So the full meaning, complete meaning goes, salutations to Valmiki. I offer my salutations. That Valmiki, who is like the cuckoo among poets, who is perched on the sweet, the melodious, the madhura branches of Ramayana. And while he is seated there, he composes Ramayana. Every time we hear the madhura aksharam, Rama, Rama, we realize that it is the most melodious of the sweetest of the sound. So it is as though Valmiki sweetly sings the Ramayana when he utters Rama, Rama. That completes the Dhyana Shloka. We move to Sarga 1, which is Samudra Langanam. We have Hanuman, who was told by Jambavan. What was he told? The powers that Hanuman truly possesses. So Hanuman was reminded of that. So after each Vanara told about the yojanas, that each of it can jump over, and then Angada says, I can go over 100, but I can't come back. And Jambavan reminds Hanuman, and the moment he is reminded, Hanuman decides, what else can be my blessing rather than to do this Rama Karyam, going in search of Sita and bringing happiness to my Ramachandra Prabhu. So the Sundarakandam starts with Tato Ravana Nitayaha. This ta is a very beautiful akshara. A lot of times it is said that ta actually brings mangalam or auspiciousness. If we remember Sankshepa Ramayanam, the first shloka of Ramayanam itself, does anybody remember the first shloka? A lot of members who have attended, you can just type it out. It starts with tapaswadhyaya. It starts with ta, right? So that particular Ramayana itself starts with ta, which is supposed to bring mangalam, auspiciousness. It has the ta varga has that auspiciousness. Even if we don't know Ramayana itself, there is one part of Ramayana, one extract from Ramayana, which is very powerful, which we all learn as a shloka. What shloka is that? We learned Aditya Hridayam, right? So in Aditya Hridayam, how does the first verse start? Tatho Yuddha Parishrantam. It starts with tu. Similarly, Sundarakandam also starts with Takara. The important message that Hanuman conveyed to Rama, which is, indeed, I saw Sita. That particular shloka also starts with Takara. So, which is why when we undergo difficulty in life, whenever we have challenges, if we ask any guru or any jeshtha, which is any person who is experienced, who will be able to guide us, they would all recommend that we read Sundarakandam. It is so powerful that it takes away the pain, and even sometimes if it doesn't take away the pain, it gives us the strength to endure that pain, strength to face and strength to navigate through the waters, the disturbed waters of life. So, tato Ravana Nitayaha Sitayaha Shatru Karshanaha Iyesha Padam Anveshtum Charana Charite Pati. Tataha Ravananitayaha Sitayaha. So the most important, there are a couple of words here which are important. I will spend slightly more time in Shloka 1. The rest of the last 10 are pretty quick to look at. So Ravananitayaha, taken by Ravana, who was taken Sitayaha. That Sita, Tataha, after listening to Jambavan, what did Hanuman do? He decided to look for that Sita who was taken away by Ravana. Sitayaha padam anveshtum means to search for Sita, the whereabouts of Sita. Iyesha, he desired to, desired to, D-I-S-I-R-E-D, desired to. Who decided or desired to? Shatrukarshanaha. Shatrukarshanaha here refers to Hanuman. So the crusher or the destroyer of foes. So we talked about the Vedantic aspect of Sundarakandam itself. So here it talks about Shatrukarshanaha. Hanuman is, Valmiki doesn't use the word Anjaneyaha or Hanuman here, right? Or Kapihi, he doesn't use that. He says Shatrukarshanaha. He has the power to destroy the enemies. Is it just external enemies? No. It is the internal enemies as well. The Shad Ripuhu, Kamakrodha, Lobha Moha, Madamatsaryam. The internal Ripu, the Indriyas that hinder our spiritual path. Hanuman has that kind of power, and Sita represents the Jivatma. And Sita is held captive by Aviveka Ravana, the 10-headed Ravana representing the Indriya. So this first shloka itself conveys a very powerful meaning. So then that Sita, who was taken away by Ravana, the destroyer of foes, the crusher of foes, Hanuman, desired to look for that Sita. And how did he want to go? He did not go through the water. He went the Akasha Margam. Akasha Margam is usually the path through which Charanas, they are celestial beings. Charanas, we've heard of Gandharvas, Yaksha Kinnaras. So Charanas is another group. So the path which is treaded by Charanas, Charite Pati. Pati is path. So after that, after listening to Jambavan, Hanuman, the crusher or the destroyer of foes, desired to travel through the same path, the path which is taken by celestial beings like Charanas. He decided to search for Sita, who was taken away by Ravana. So the first one lays the foundation of Sundarakandam itself. What is the goal? What is the vision here of Hanuman? He has only one goal. He wants to find Sita. That Sita who was taken away by Ravana. And he goes through the Akasha Margam, the same Marga which is treaded by the Charanas. So in the first one, I would probably underline the word Shatrukarshanaha and Sita and Ravana. So it directly references Hanuman, Sita, Ravana, the Guru, the Jivatma, and the hindrances, everything that stops or hinders our spiritual path to reach or realize Paramatma. Dushkaram Nishpratidvandvam Chikirshan Karma Vanaraha Samudagra Shirogrivo Gavam Patiriva Bhabhau. Dushkaram. The second shloka, the most important, is Dushkaram, something which is impossible to accomplish, requiring a lot of effort. Nishpratidvandvam. But Hanuman, he decided, the moment he decided, he was ready to face all the challenges which he will encounter during that search for Sita. Chikirshan, intending to, karma, intending to look for. Who decided? Vanaraha. That Vanara, Hanuman. Samudagra Shirogrivaha. And the confidence that he had in his mind, the power of his mind is described in this word. So when he started the search, he had his head and neck raised. So he was so confident. He had the blessing of Sri Rama. He had the bhakti of Sri Rama, bhakti towards Sri Rama. And so he held his head and neck raised in confidence, raised in power. And while we look at that Hanuman, he looked as though Gavam Pati. Gavam means cows, Gau Shabda. So Pati, the Pati of cows, which is bull. He looked like the best of the bull. Bhabau, he appeared, a Bhabau. So looking at the overall meaning, that Hanuman who desired to accomplish a task which by anyone is impossible to accomplish. He decided to undertake that task which was not attempted by anybody. Anybody would have, any normal being who has come on earth couldn't have flown across the sea looking for Sita. And while he did that, he had his head and neck raised and stretched, which displayed his confidence. And he looked like a bull, which is the pati of the cows. And he was ready to face any obstacle. And the confidence with which Hanuman appeared, it looked as though no obstacle could stop what he had set out for. So Dushkaram, something which was impossible to accomplish, Hanuman decided to accomplish that. Yesha means desire to. Third one. Atha Vaidurya Varneshu Shadvaleshu Mahabalaha Dhiraha Salila Kalpeshu Vichachara Yatha Sukam. Then what happened after that? Vaidurya Varneshu. The color of the gem Vaiduryam, greenish yellow in color. Shadvaleshu, he set his foot on the green grassy land. He was there at Mahendra mountain and he set his foot at the green grassy land. Who was that? Mahabalaha, that Hanuman who had great strength. Not only that, Dhiraha, he was both calm and courageous. He did not express any anxiety. He had so much of courage, that courage that came or stemmed from that bhakti. So when he stood that way, Salila Kalpeshu, Salilam is like water, water on the sheet, a sheet of water on the green grass. Vichachara, Chachara means to walk. Yatha Sukam, when he took that step and he started walking before he took off, he did that so with such ease. There was no anxiety, there was no nervousness. He was confident, he had the strength, he had the physical and the mental strength. And it looked as though he had the gift of extraordinary strength from Rama himself. He had that calmness, that patience. He happily walked over. He did not experience, for us even to just come to a forum and ask a question or, get on stage and give a speech. There would be so much of nervousness that we experience that, the audience could realize that that person is experiencing that kind of nervousness. But Hanuman, who was gifted with that extraordinary strength, he had the patience, the calmness, the courage. Yatha Sukam, he happily walked. And when he did that, he actually walked over the green grassy land like a sheet of water, because it was marshy. It looked like a sheet of water with the color of Vaiduryam, which is emerald, kind of like emerald, which is greenish yellow in color. So the grassy land also looked like that. Hanuman also looked like that. So Atha, after that, that mighty and courageous Hanuman, he walked or roamed around happily with ease on the grass or on the lawn with the shade of emerald, with the shade of vidurium, which resembled or looked like still water when we look at it from a distance. Dvijan Vitrasayan Dhiman Urasa Padapan Haran Mrigamscha Subahun Nignan Pravriddha Iva Kesari. Kesari is lion. So the strength and the courage and the power that Hanuman displayed, he looked like Kesari. His father itself is Kesari, lion among the Vanaras. So he looked like Kesari, Kesari Iva. And what did he do? Because of the size that he had and the power and the strength that he had, and while for him it was an easy cakewalk, but the way he was stamping and moving, he was kind of scaring the birds and the animals, and with the gait that he was treading over, he uprooted the trees there. So Dvijan is birds, Vitrasayan, scaring them. Dhiman, that wise Hanuman, who immediately grasped when Jambavan said, and immediately said, you know what, I will go. Urasa, which is with his chest, Padapan Haran, as he kept moving, because of the size, he uprooted the trees, Padapan. Padapaha means trees. Haran, uprooting them. Not only that, Mrigamscha, Mrigaha, animals also. Subahun, which were there in groups, it felt as though he was trampling on them. Nignan, trampling on them. Pravriddha Iva Kesari, he had grown in size with the size he had. And we all know Hanuman had Ashtama Siddhi. The 8 siddhis where you have different kinds of powers that you can display. You can become big, you can become small, you can become heavy, you can become light. So Hanuman knew in order to cross over the ocean, his normal size would not help. So he decided to increase in size, grow in size. And while he did that, he treaded like a rampant lion. He made the birds scared. He uprooted the trees with his chest, and he also trampled upon many animals. Next is the description of the mountain. The next 3 kind of describe the mountain where he was there. He was standing. So it is still there in Tirunelveli district, Mahendragiri. Neela Lohita Manjishta Patravarnaihi Sita Sitaihi Swabhava Vihitaihi Chitraihi Dhatubihi Samalankritaihi. So that mountain had different kinds of minerals and rocks. Neela Lohita Mamjishtha Patravarnaihi. It had blue, red, yellow, Patravarnam, which is green. These kinds of rocks, not just that, Sita Asita, black and white also. It was a mountain which was filled with different kinds of rocks and minerals. Swabhava Vihitaihi, which are there in their natural state. These are not artificially colored, natural state. Dhatu Bihi, with minerals too. Samalankritam, that mountain which looked decorated in different colors. So when you have a mountain which is just one colored, it kind of looks plain. This mountain was special. It had minerals and rocks with varied colors like blue, red, yellow, green, black, and white. And he was there using that mountain as the base, ready to take off. And while he was taking off, Kama Rupi Bihi Avishtam Abhikshnam Saparichadaihi Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvaihi Deva Kalpaihi Pannagaihi. So this particular mountain was frequently visited not just by beings of earth, but also by other beings, like celestial beings. It was a very special mountain. It was frequently visited by Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvaihi, Yakshas, Kinnaras, and Gandharvas. Deva Kalpaihi Pannagaihi. It had godly serpents too, Nagas, snakes. And what was the speciality of Yaksha Kinnara Gandharvas? They had the ability to take any form at their free will. So, Kama Rupi Bihi Avishtam. Kama is desire, Rupam is form. So, they had the special power to take any form at their free will. Abhikshnam. It was very much. Abhikshnam is basically very much. Very much they could take any form at any time at their free will. And not just them. It had a whole retinue, right? Not just one Gandharva or one snake. It has a whole group, a whole army of Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, and godly serpents. So first is the mountain description, then followed by the kind of visitors that the mountain had. So we have to imagine that these visitors were there when Hanuman was taking off. Sa tasya girivaryasya tale nagavarayute tishthan kapivaraha tatra hrade naga iva abhabhau. So this Hanuman was standing there, and Kapivaraha, he is the leader or the chief of the Vanara army. Where was he standing? He was standing at Giri Varyasya Tale, at the foot of the mountain. And that mountain also had another species, Nagavarayute. It had a lot of elephants that inhabited that mountain. Tishthan, standing there, he looked, Hanuman looked like Naga himself. He looked like an elephant himself, which stands tall and big and powerful at the center of a lake. Hrade, Hradaha means lake. So Hanuman stood like Hanuman, who was the leader, the monkey leader himself, stood at the foot of the mountain where he was standing, which was also inhabited by these great elephants, huge elephants, but he himself looked like an elephant which was standing at the center of a lake. So the three shlokas put together, the first one describes the kind of rocks and minerals that made the mountain. The next one describes the kind of beings that visited the mountain. And the third one describes how Hanuman looked while he was standing there at the foot of the mountain, ready for takeoff, and he had grown in size. Just 1 second. Box entertainment center. Just 1 second. That will make you sleepy. Have the sorry. Now comes the main part. He is ready to take off, and when he is ready to take off, he does his duty. The duty is offering prayers to Guru. Whenever we undertake a task, so you can mark this shloka. You can mark shloka number 1. You can mark down this particular shloka. So these are all key lessons learned from Sundarakandam. So in this particular shloka, it talks about how before taking off, he is a Rama Bhakta, he has the blessings of Rama, he is going for a Rama Karyam, and he knows that he will be successful. Of course, there are moments in Sundarakandam where Hanuman himself loses confidence, and he finds ways to regain that confidence, which we will see later, which is very much applicable to our lives as well. Now, while he is ready to take off, he remembers Surya Bhagavan. We saw in last class the story of Hanuman, right? How he tried to fetch the sun god, thinking of it as a fruit, and he gets hit by Indra's Vajra. And then all the gods give him different kinds of boons, and then Surya Bhagavan becomes the guru. And after the learning is complete, he sends Hanuman to Sugriva, who is also the Amsha or son of the sun god. Now he remembers that he needs to offer due respect to his guru, not just his guru, his father, and all the other devatas. He requires blessings from all of them to undertake this task. So, Sir Suryaya, Mahendraya, Pavanaya, Swayambhuve, Bhutebhyah, Anjalim Kritva, Chakara, Gamane, Matim. So, Suryaya, to sun god, Mahendraya, Indra, Pavanaya, his father, wind god, Swayambhuve, the creator, Brahma, Bhutebhyah, all the we can take this as Bhutaganas, or we can take this as all the beings, all the attendants of Lord Shiva, or the entire universe, the Panchabhutas. Everything needs to cooperate for Hanuman to complete his task undertaken. Anjalim Kritva, offering salutation. Chakara, he is set, he is ready. For what? Gamane, to go. Matim, in his mind, he is resolved to start his journey. So offering salutations, Anjalim Kritva, with folded palms, to his guru, sun god, to Indra, to Brahma, the creator, to all the attendants of Lord Shiva and all the beings of the universe, the Panchabhutas. Hanuman made up his mind to start his journey, to proceed towards Lanka. Anjalim prang mukhah kritva pavanaya atma yonaye tatah hi vavridhe gantum dakshinam disham. So he decided to go in the southern direction. He was told by Sampati that Sita was taken by Ravana and Sita is sitting there in a garden in the southern direction. So facing the east, again, facing Surya Bhagavan, Atma Yonaye, thinking of his father, the wind god, Anjalim Kritva, offering prayers, he grew in size. Vavridhe, he grew in size. Tataha Gantum, he was ready to depart. Dakshinam Disham, in the southern direction. So Hanuman, facing east direction, prang mukhah kritva, he had his head down, his hands folded, way of offering his salutation to wind god, his father. He grew in size and he turned in the southern direction in order to depart. So he was first facing east, offered his namaskarams, and then he was ready to take off in the southern direction. Plavanga pravaraihi drishtaha plavane krita nishchayaha vavridhe rama vridhyartam samudraha iva parvasu. So he is reiterating within his mind that this is for Rama Karyam, Rama Vridhyartam, for the welfare of Rama, having made up his mind. Plavanga Pravaraihi, he was among the he was standing amongst the monkey troops. So they were all waiting and watching, just like we would watch the takeoff of a rocket, right? The crowd is there cheering and looking and waiting for that feat to happen. So Plavanga Pravaraihi Drishtaha. So the monkey troops which were there surrounding Hanuman were waiting and gazing at him. Plavanam means leaping. Krita Nishchayaha, who had decided to take a leap. And Vavridhe, we have seen this pada before, where he grew in size. Why is he doing all of this? Rama Vridhyartam, in order for the welfare of Lord Rama. Samudra iva parvasu. While he was taking off, he looked like a huge wave in the sea. On a full moon day, the waves would be so rough and huge. So Hanuman looked like that, Samudra iva parvasu. With all the Vanaras watching him, gazing at him, waiting for him to take off and watch that feat, Hanuman decided to fly. And it looked as though the entire ocean was swelling on a full moon day. And he grew in size. Today we did the Dhyana Shlokam also, so I think we are going a little bit over time. If you have time constraint, feel free to drop off. The recording will be posted in the YouTube channel for you to catch up. Nishpramana Sharirasan Lilanghaishu Arnavam Bahubhyam Pidayamasa Charanabhyam cha Parvatam. So his figure had increased multifold in size, and with that huge figure, he kind of pressed with his hands and feet the mountain where he was standing. So you can imagine taking off, right? So while you're taking off, you would press your feet. You will also press your hand to get that propulsion. So Arnavam is ocean. Lilanghaishu, wishing to cross over. Nishpramana Shariraha, having a huge shariram, huge body, huge figure. Sun, at that point, having that Bahubhyam with his both hands, Charanabhyam with his feet as well. Parvatam Pidayamasa, he pressed over the mountain. With the desire to cross over the ocean, Hanuman grew in size. And as he grew in size, while he was ready to take off, he pressed his feet and hand over the mountain. Sa chachala achalaha cha api muhurtam kapipiditaha tarunam pushpitagranam sarvam pushpam ashatayat. So this is a beautiful description where while he presses, what happens? The mountain shakes. And when the mountain shakes, the trees shake. When the trees shake, the flowers from the tree kind of fall down. So pressed firmly by Hanuman, Kapipiditaha, Sa Achalaha, that mountain. Achalaha is mountain also. Muhurtam, that moment, that particular moment. Chachala, that was also shaken because of the power with which Hanuman pressed over. Pushpita Agranam, it was completely filled with pushpam, flowers. Tarunam, from the trees, of the trees. So it looks as though the mountain was completely filled with flowers. So while pressed by Hanuman, the mountain itself shook. And that particular instant, all the flowers from all the trees filled the mountain and it showered the mountain with all the flowers. Tena padapa muktena pushpaughena sugandhina sarvataha samvritaha shailaha babhau pushpamayaha yatha. So how does that sight look? It looked like a heap of flowers, heap of fragrant filled flowers that had fallen down from all the trees over the mountain. So it looked like a mountain of flowers. It did not look like a mountain with trees. It looked as though there was a flowery mountain, a mountain created fully with flowers. So Shailaha is mountain. Padapa Muktena. Padapaha means trees, given or dropped down by the trees. Sugandhina, full of fragrance. Gandham is fragrance. Pushpaugena, the heap of flowers. Sarvataha, all over. Samvritaha, it was covered. So how did it look? It appeared as though it was a mountain of flowers. Tena uttama veer Tena cha uttama veeryena pidyamanah saha parvatah salilam samprasusrava mattaha madam iva dvipaha. So the mountain was pressed hard by Hanuman's feet, right? So what happens? The water kind of like oozes out, just like an elephant in a rut would exude the water of intoxication. So, Uttama Viryena, by that the valorous Hanuman, Pidyamanaha, having pressed, Saha Parvataha, that mountain, Salilam Susrava, it exuded water. Salilam is water, Jalam. It exuded. Samprasu means exceedingly, profusely, it exuded. How did it exude? Mattaha madam iva dvipaha. Dvipaha is elephant. Just as an elephant in rut would exude water with intoxication. Similarly, the mountain also exuded. So the mountain shed water like an elephant in rut that emits the rut juice, and being pressed by Hanuman, there were streams that were coming out of the mountain. Pidyamanaha tu balina Mahendraha tena parvataha ritihi nirvartayamasa kanchana anjana rajatihi. So Pidyamanaha, again pressed by Balina, here by Hanuman. Mahendraha. So here comes the name of the mountain, Mahendragiri. Mahendraha Parvataha, Tena, by him. Ritihi. Ritihi means streams. Nirvartaya Masa. They started oozing out or coming out. And it looked as though there were streams of gold and silver. Kanchana, Anjana, Rajatihi. So it looked like streams of gold and silver. So pressed by Balina, that mighty Hanuman, this mountain, Mahendragiri mountain, looked as though it had streaks of gold and silver, and it appeared shining and resplendent, right? So as though the mountain was filled with streaks of gold and silver. It still, Hanuman is still there. He has not taken off. He is just ready to take off. And Valmiki is describing the situation. Mumocha cha shilaha shailaha vishalaha samanaha shilaha madhya madhyamena archisha jushta dhumarajihi ivanalaha. Shailaha, again it is mountain. So what happens when the mountain started moving? The rocks also started moving along. So when the rocks were hitting against each other, it was as though smoke was being emitted from the rocks, from the mountain. So huge rocks were getting crushed against each other. It looked as though there was fire in the mountain. So it is kind of sequentially happening. Hanuman is ready to take off. He's pressing. So in the first jolt, the trees shed the flowers and it looks like a mountain of flowers. And then as he is ready and he is pressing further, the rocks also get pushed. And as they move against each other, the big boulders of rocks, they touch or they kind of move against each other. So it looks as though it is fire that is being emitted and the entire mountain is filled with smoke. So the mountain, which was pressed by Hanuman, looked like fire, and the fire that is emitting smoke. So the mountain was filled with smoke and it looked as though the gold and silver flames were shining there as the rocks were moving. Girina pidyamanena pidyamanani sarvatah guhavishtani bhutani vineduhu vikritaihi swaraihi. Now, the mountain has rocks and the rocks will have beings inside it. So when the rocks move, the silent creatures which are leading a very happy life inside the rocks, they would move too. And as the rocks crush against each other and the smoke and the flames get emitted, these beings also get pressed. So what happens? They make this shrieking sound, swaraihi, vikritaihi, swaraihi. They experience that pain. So imagine mountain has these rocks, and inside the rocks you would have these creatures, little creatures that would be living. So being pressed on all the sides by the mountain itself, these creatures which are living in the cave, guha vishtani. Guha is cave. Bhutani, all the creatures. Vineduhu, these shrieking voice. Vikritaihi, the horrible noise. Svaraihi, these voices. They all were also pressed, Girina, by the mountain. The mountain was pressed by Hanuman. In turn, these creatures were pressed by the mountain. Saha Mahasattva Sannadaha Shaila Pida Nimittajaha Prithivim Purayamasa Dishascha Upavananicha. So this crushing of mountain happened, and the loud noises that were made by these creatures, the shrill, shrieking voices, filled up the entire space there in all directions. So, Dishaha cha Purayamasa Prithvim. So, Prithvim Dishaha cha, all the directions of the earth, it was surrounded. Upavanani cha. And every place, Upavanam means forest or grove. Everything that was surrounding that mountain, these shrill voices were heard there as well. So due to the loud noise from the creatures that were pressed, Shaila Pida Nimittajaha. So the Shaila is mountain. Pressed by the mountain, these creatures that were making noises, that voices, those shrieky, shrill voices, filled the earth and the groves in all directions, and also the forest that surrounded the mountain. Shirobhihi Prithubihi Sarpaha Vyaktaha Vyaktaswastika Lakshanaihi Vamantaha Pavakam Ghoram Dashanaihi Shilaha Dadamshuhu. So what happened? The mountain was also inhabited by snakes, not just ordinary snakes, these godly snakes. Now these snakes were also pressed in turn and they were experiencing pain. So what did they do? With their fang, they started pressing over the mountain. And when they pressed the mountain and the rocks, the poison from the snake started oozing out. So the snakes Shirobihi prithubihi sarpaha. Shirobihi is the head, the hood of the snakes. Prithubihi, which is wide in nature. So we all know snakes have thin body and wide hood. Sarpaha, these snakes. Vyakta swastika lakshanaihi. They had these swastika mark. These king cobras have the special mark on their hood. Vamantaha, they emitted. Pavakam ghoram, they emitted or spit out as though fire was being emitted from their mouth, from their fang. Dashanaihi, from their fangs. Shila dadamshuhu, they, with those fangs, they dadamshuhu, they bit the rocks. So it is like a ripple effect that is happening with Hanuman taking off from Mahendragiri. The last shloka. Taha tada savishtaihi dashtaha kupitaihi taihi mahashilaha jajvaluhu pavako deepta bibiduhu cha sahasrada. So how did it look? So bitten by these poisonous snakes that were emitting fire like poison, the mountain, it looked as though Sahasrada, the mountain was broken into 1,000 pieces. And it looked as though it was blazing with fire or the flames. So those Hanuman pressed over the mountain pressed over the rocks pressed over the little creatures made those shrill noises that filled the earth on all directions. And during that course, the snakes that were dwelling in the mountain also was pressed against. In turn, they had these fangs with which they bit or they caused cut on the mountain rocks further because they were angry in pain. So when they were emitting that poison, that venom, it looked as though the entire mountain, Sahasradha, was split into 1,000 pieces and it was burning in fire. So we all can kind of imagine Hanuman getting ready, but there is always collateral damage. So the damage is that the mountain gets affected. He needs to propel from there. He scared the birds, he scared the animals, he uprooted some trees because he had needed that power to take off. While he pressed, the mountain itself experienced a lot kind of like breaking. It got shattered into pieces. And while that happened, because of all the other things that happened surrounding it, it looked as though the mountain was filled with fire. It was burning in fire and flames and smoke was being emitted out there. This is the meaning for the first 20 shlokas. Like I mentioned, we will go through the shlokas, understand the overall meaning so that when we are reading, we know Sahasradha. Okay, this is the place where the mountain kind of looks as though it is broken into 1,000 pieces. But places where we need to focus on, we need to take some lessons learned, we need to get inspired by Sundarakandam, we will dwell little more there. I will post the individual shlokas in the channel. Please do practice, devote at least 10 minutes of time every day to practice the shlokas. You can also listen to the recordings if you want to know the meaning or you need any corrections in pronunciation. With Guru Kripa, we will meet next Friday at 4:30. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavadaha. Ram Ram Ram. Shubhadinam. Jai Shri Ram.